keep rush, then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolved. I let my person curl up and die, eating up his innards. And unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the...
Hello everybody, I'm Larry Ridley and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It would be no surprise if today's matchup turns into a grinded out affair. The Vikings are #1 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Niners, who will need to be sharp on offense. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are indeed at the beautiful state-of-the-art U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And leading him out, their veteran quarterback. The lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And here's the headshots for the offense. And Carlos Hyde, a talented back.
Has taken over as the lead runner. A terrific talent. Can batter you inside, but has more speed than what you expect to take it the distance.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Here we go. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Eric Kendricks is another one of those bloodline guys in the NFL. His brother Michael also applies his trade as a linebacker. And Eric's trying to show him he's the best in the family.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general. They run the counter now on first down. And he's brought down after a good gain. 22 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Minnesota first down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field again after that.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Having an effective short passing game, one of their main concern coming into this one. Right there, able to hit the D with a quick strike and a first down.
And you're able to put that into your game plan when you see that there's space to throw the football. A lot of defenses don't want to play press coverage or tight coverage. They'll play backed off, and sometimes those cornerbacks will bail out really fast and really get deep. And that allows you to throw the quick game underneath, and they took advantage of it.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the third level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Green 39! Green 39! Leopard!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Eric Armstead was a big-time high school basketball player turned into college football All-American. Now they're counting on him in the NFL to fulfill his promise.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, this will be the 9th play on this drive.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
From the 3-yard line once more. Now here's 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And the ball's out. Hyde fumbled it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's a close game here early on. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle to Smith. First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sharif Floyd in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 10. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. An even 90 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
Partner, the old rules about not fielding punts inside your own 10, those things are way out the window, aren't they?
Yeah, they say put your heels on the 10-yard line, but when you return it, maybe your coach doesn't say anything to you, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of special teams coach, if they've got a special guy, they'll say, yeah, okay, you can go to the 8. But this one, he really had some guts.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete. So the defense forces a 3-and-out, but they got some help along the way. They threw it on first down, and when they were unsuccessful, it became second and long. Didn't get it again on another pass. Went third and long, and they almost had to put it in the air. They may want to rethink some strategy going forward.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's made it easy for us to put together a highlight package. Just wondering what he ate before this one started.
Let's include that in the package, right? Get the gourmet out here, figure it all out, and you're guaranteed he'll do that going forward as well, because with a game like this, you don't want to change things too much. Oh, yeah, you also want to continue to get that great blocking he's received today, too.
Yeah, kudos to the guys up front indeed. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his man on the out route. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He'll look to throw, and he will find his man on the outside. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They're going to look to throw. Incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And that'll be incomplete.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Let's go, defense. Watch it now, Barney. Set.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's third down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They'll look to throw again. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. This will be caught at about the 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Back to throw again. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Prater on to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got time. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. A good pickup there of 22. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. A gain of 6 there on first. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. He'll drop to throw, and that is incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on fourth down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Well, looking down at my game card here, that's 5 drives now for them and 4 touchdowns. I think anybody would take an 80% ratio.
I'm sure that they would, but if you flip it over to the other side of the ball, what are they going to hang their hat on? There was one possession. They held them to no score whatsoever. That's where they're going to try and build on and try and slow this team down.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. To throw now on first down. They go screen pass to Hyde. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this one is right down the middle. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again.
Roughing the kicker, defense.
And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You worked so hard to hold them to a 3-point kick. Now you give them the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now back to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Back to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. And Barth puts it through. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Following the penalty, it's Hyde, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Eli Rogers, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Exhale.
You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, they can just tighten.
It's what they want to do. Tighten down everything they're doing, and it maybe explode at the right time.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a... I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And you as a former defender should know that the referees are watching this closely, defensive holding.
They watch it awfully closely. I sure wish they'd let it be 5.5 yards like they do for the offensive guys. But in this case, they were strict with the rule.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Let's go.
They'll try and throw for it here. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Oh, wide open, complete. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down, or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
Here's Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Vikings are looking good right now as they will just try to keep up the good work in the second half. The 49ers are vulnerable right now, coming off a rough game a week ago and still not really finding a way to get back on track. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Vikings line up at the 3. They'll go with the run here, and he'd go in for the 3-yard touchdown. Vikings up now by 7. 49ers punt it away now, and this long run goes for a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Third down from the 45. Here the catch is made way downfield, and he'll end up picking up 43 yards on the play. Continuing on the drive, middle of the field, the pass will be caught, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. Vikings up now by 21. Now midway through the second, the pass ends up being picked off. Sendejo's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Now following the pick, the pass complete out of the gun, and he finds his mark for the score. That pushes the lead to 28. Midway through the second quarter, Hines going to use solid blocking to break free. He'll pick up more than 10 yards on the play. 49ers still on the field. Rodgers is the target on the quick pass, and he capped off the 9-play drive with a TD. 49ers trail by 21. Fourth down from the 14. The catch is made after a quick pass, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 43-yard line. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action here on first down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he's brought down. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it'll be first down Vikings.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Back to throw here. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. So a bit of a struggle here in this one after the great week last week. And after the last drive, I looked over. I don't think our camera saw it, but he just kind of went over by himself on the end of the bench. You could just tell visibly frustrated.
And that's probably good that he went by himself to gather his thoughts.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Holding. Defense.
So the defensive holding penalty here, Charles.
You get outside of 5 yards downfield and you get grabby with an offensive player, the flag will come out every time.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And quickly, they get to the line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And Rudolph has it left side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They're going to look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That's caught at the 2.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while. Have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
You know, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll set it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. Good blocking there. It'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out and made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll look to throw here. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw again. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Detroit, here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Gerald Hodges coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. That is caught inside the 5. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. Back to throw here. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cordero Patterson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll come out throwing here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Caught. It's Huff. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. A long way to go for the offense here on third down.
Green 39! Green 39! Mike's 54! Mike's 54!
He'll look to throw. They go screen pass to Hyde. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on third down.
And ordinarily on third down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. And he's loose again. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 69 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
Brandon, his second punt return for a touchdown in this game. But where's Marvin? That's got to be somewhere near a record, right?
Well, it ties the record, as you know. Been done 14 times coming into 2016. Hasn't been done since 2012 until that moment. Now Prater to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Let's go! Green!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
False start, offense.
Seven yards remain now on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
This is taken at the 18. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Cordero Patterson, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Oh, boy. Rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Prater on to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. After the pick 6, they go right back. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Linval Joseph in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
3rd down, Carlos Hyde. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out. Facing a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Fielded just inside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. We get a look now at the 49ers defense as they get into position. And not a good performance by them or by their offense for that matter. It just hasn't been a good game.
And it's real easy at this point to point fingers. Hey, you guys didn't get a whole lot done today. Didn't give us much of a cushion. But the truth of the matter is, having played defense, your pride says whatever your offense gives you, you're supposed to allow 1 point less. So they're going to feel like they let them down as well.
Yeah, I guess fingers could be pointed on both sides. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And the 49er hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. On the left side, it's McDonald. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The first down screen pass, good for 5. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
They'll stick with the passing game. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. They threw an opening, and there he goes. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big, and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying we're in full control of this game, and we can kind of do what we want.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to...
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth-quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
That's pulled in at the 32. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Prater on to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the 49er hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
He dumps it to Hyde, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. One receiver left, three to the right. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to, and now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And that will write a finish to this ball game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings.